I talked in an earlier video today about censorship, the type of censorship they do. And when they're not censoring things or people, they're changing history, they're rewriting history. So, like a reverse whitewashing. Get into this. Got an article here from Bounding into Comics. Now, I have stayed away from Doctor Who like the plague. I have watched Gary's Descent into Madness, him, Mahler, and as they watch yet another franchise be destroyed by The Message. And Gary, we wish you well. Don't relapse. Your sobriety is strong. You can make it through this. Actually, I think he's well into apathy at this point. They've destroyed every bit of love we've had for that. But unrelated and related to that, Doctor Who casting director responds to criticism of race swapped Isaac Newton. You see, it wasn't enough to have our mainstream comic book and movie characters race swap. No, no, no. Now they're coming after history. We've seen it with Anne Boleyn, right? Cleopatra, where a lawyer in Egypt actually sued them. Now they've come for Isaac Newton, who was English and about as white as you can get. Casting director says it's sad that we're in a time where people villainize minorities. No, 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 no one's doing that. Just like no one was villainizing people in wheelchairs when you changed Davros, the Dalek originator. I know nothing about Doctor Who. Everything I know is through Gary from Neurotic. Poor man. Poor anyone Doctor Who. I apologize. Welcome to the club, though. According to Doctor Who casting director Andy Pryor, the backlash to the series race swapping of real world historical figure Sir Isaac Newton. Real world. Wasn't enough for the fictional ones. You had to take the real ones too. Because, see, that's what they want. They want this weird, like, they've even said it too. We want to show you history as we wished it was, which really just means less white people. We wish there were less white people that were significant. Sorry about that. So now we're going to magically just brush them away. There's a word for that. According to Doctor Who casting director Andy Pryor, the backlash to the series race swapping of real world historical figure Sir Isaac Newton has nothing to do with historical accuracy or a growing exhaustion with identity politics. Yes, it does. But it's instead based solely in, you guessed it, viewers' own racist attitudes. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. That is gaslighting. Gaslight. That's what they do. Gaslit me. I'm upset. Don't let them do it, but that's what they do. You have a valid argument. Hey, there's pictures and it's well documented that Sir Isaac Newton was a white Englishman. Racist. Racist. It's the worst. It's the worst, most despicable tactic, and they do it. Hey, how does Rey know how to do Jedi mind trick when she just learned about the? You're clearly threatened by women. Misogyny. It's like, no, I just don't understand how. It's the same tack. It dismisses, it shuts down conversation. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But let's get back into this. Taking place in Wild Blue Yonder, second of three new Doctor Who holiday specials, helmed by returning showrunner Russell T Davies, which, by all reports, has just been Dave Tennant being humiliated for being a man, or sorry, for being a male presenting doctor. Who would ever think that we would have heard that phrase, male presenting doctor? Anyway, and produced in honor of the series' 60th anniversary. Historical revisionism, which is prime these days, in question saw the real world English physicist brought to life by half Indian, the Witcher blood. Oh, God. He said it. He said that the Witcher blood origin, which is like the worst, most unadulterated crap ever. It is The Witcher. Like, if you thought The Witcher was bad at not following the lore, Blood Origin was them with like all the restraints. Go ahead, do whatever you want. They butchered the hell out of that. Ugh. Portraying him not as the white man he probably, no, definitively was. Not as the white man he definitively was. Also, they spelled probably with a B, but who am I to judge? But rather as someone of an unspecified ethnic descent. Yeah, because I guess that's what they want. Everyone to just be some general swarthy brown color. Because when we all look the same, no one will be different. No, for everyone that says our differences used to be strengths because we ignored them and united despite of them. This homogeneity. We're all going to look like Zion in the Matrix. Following the special's premiere, Pryor provided insight into his subversive casting decisions. Subversive. Are you saying that he wanted to subvert expectations. Ryan Johnson's like laughing in the background right now. Casting decision during an interview with digital spies David Opie. Oh. First broaching the topic after being met with praise from Opie for how well he was able to keep Curtis's appearance a secret, the casting director explained, because it's a brief but important moment. Right, which is why you chose that moment to virtue signal and insert a little bit of the message by having a non-white actor. Because every time you want more diversity, you really just mean we want less white people. And I'm not even going to say reverse racism because there's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just racism. You can get an actor in and out quite quickly. You mean you can sneak it in before anyone notices, eh? That was Russell's idea. I bet it was Russell's idea. That was Russell's idea, actually, Pryor added. We had talked about trying to get Nathaniel in the show at some point. And I think it's a sort of rather cheeky, it's just a cheeky little thing, erasing history and yeah, listen, white people, cheeky little thing, but a fun interpretation of Isaac Newton. Boy, if that was reversed, I wonder if you would still think it was fun and cheeky. Hmm. Can't wait for that Martin Luther King documentary played by Ricky Gervais. Huh? Just a fun little cheeky interpretation of Martin Luther. You know, it's not a historical drama. No, but it does have really serious moments. I don't know a lot of it. It's one clip I have seen of Doctor Who where I believe it's Vincent Van Gogh is taken to the future and he gets to see he committed suicide before he became famous. So he gets to see the effect of all his pain. It's a beautiful moment. You know what? Vincent Van Gogh looked like fucking Vincent Van Gogh. Shocking, I know. They cared about a good moment and the characters making sense than they did being cheeky. Daniel was very game, he further recalled. He's a fan of the show. And press X to doubt. Press X to doubt. Because if you were a fan of the show, you would want the best for it. And you would go that, no, maybe I should play another character. Not that one. It might be a little disingenuous. Such a lovely guy, and he had a great time. I bet he did have a great time. But that's the one thing with all of these. It sounds like everyone has a great time destroying these franchises, pissing off the fans, alienating everyone, and subverting expectations. Great time for everyone. From there, Opie then turned their discussion to how we can fuck up. Oh, no, sorry. They turned their discussion to how there's been backlash from so-called fans of Doctor Who in regard to these particular castings, that they're too woke. Again, probably an apt description, even if it's misused. In this case, it would be specifically identity politics, which he's saying is not what it is. Okay, for want of a better word, I just said what the word is. It's identity politics. Subsequently asking the casting director, you've engaged a bit with the discussion online. I wonder what he's classifying as engaged, which means you said a bunch of curt and rude responses to the fans and dismissed the rational ones. But I wondered if you had anything else to add on this response to castings such as these. In turn, Pryor asserted, it's sad that we're in a time where people villainize minorities. No, it's sad that we're in a time where you people have control. You pushers, you schemers. You scheme and you try to control. You're gonna make me turn into the Joker because that's stop. Serve the story first, not your social, which is why everyone, the fans have noticed it. They know that all Russell T Davies, when he said he had more to say, boy, did he. Boy, did he have more to say, more to ruin. This sort of chatter, I'm very good at kind of tuning it out. Yeah, I bet, he told his host. And I'm also very, very, very happy to block people on Twitter. Of course, because why would you want to listen to anyone? I don't really have time for bigotry at all. Yeah, you're too busy with your own. Because clearly you felt so strongly to the exclusion of everything else that you're willing to race swap a real person because you were being cheeky in your interpretation. No, it's because you wanted to piss people off. You knew what you were doing. Proceeding to broaden his argument, Pryor continued. It then becomes even more important to give people a voice and for people to be represented. Okay, fine. First of all, not everyone needs representation all the time in everything. I watch plenty of things that are all black. Where was my representation in Bad Boys? Love Will Smith before we found out he was cuck. Love Will Smith back in the day. Love Bad Boys. One of my favorite movies. Where's my representation? I'm not black. Spoiler, I'm black and white. Badgers are clearly black and white, but I'm not an African American badger. Where was my representation? Somehow I was still able to identify and like it. So I'm glad that you were able to give people representation in your cheeky interpretation, but why did it have to be Isaac Newton? Did you not have the skill to write another character for him to play? Interesting. Social media is a bit of a dangerous place. It is if you're beta. It is if you're beta and weak and don't like discourse. It is if you are weak person. Yes, it's a very dangerous place. If you think words are violence, oh, social media shouldn't be on there. It's just become a game for them. No, it's just become a game for you. It's just become a game for you. And unfortunately, it's translated to everything because it's the same little fucked up game we keep playing. Unfortunately, real life isn't a game. You're damn straight. Well, you finally said something I agree with. And I think it's important to stand up for people who are marginalized. Good. Good to know. This is how you think standing up for anyone is by race swapping historical characters and gaslighting anyone that calls you out for it. Pryor then declared, growing up as a gay man, well, we got to get that in there, right? Because now anything he says, you can't challenge him or he'll fake and say, oh, you're homophobic. I'm as aware as anybody else of how this stuff makes you feel when you see it, how that negativity can affect you. I don't really think anyone should have to go. No one should have to go through it. Who cares that you're gay, by the way? It's an important thing for me, he said. It's an important thing for Russell and the whole Doctor Who team. There are so many ways of telling a story. And the more you can introduce other ideas and other kinds of people, the more exciting it is. That's right. There are so many other ways. And yet you choose the same way every single time. Put a chick in it, make it gay and lame. Or in this case, put a dude in it, make him gay and lame. And the opposite race. I'm sure they've made him gender fluid too. Receiving subsequent praise from Opie regarding how the show has always been forward-thinking and right, it always was. So you probably could have done it without making it super on the nose, punch you in the face. Show has always been forward-thinking and progressive. And this goes for Star Trek too, but in a way. So it's really nice that in 2023, Doctor Who can embody that now more than ever. Yeah, it's really nice that in 2023, Doctor Who can go so fucking overboard that we're gonna make sure anyone else who wasn't put off by the message is now put off. And then when we have no ratings, we're going to really double down and blame the fans. Somehow this will be patriarchy's fault, not their own writing decisions. It always has been a show about people outside of the norm from day one, really. So we're just carrying that tradition on in a more modern way. Oh, modern. Every time they say modern, boy, do they not mean modern. Oh, I'm so glad that I don't watch Doctor Who. Gary, Mahler, I'm so sorry for you guys and all the Doctor Who fans. You can join the Star Trek fans. That's a problem. They're also Star Trek and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings fans. Now, thankfully, the Lord of the Rings movies, which now the Hobbits look great, are all fine. Rings of the Power Zone. But other than that, everything's been ruined. Everything's been corrupted. Doctor Who's gotten it the worst of all of them. I mean, this is like having George Lucas come back and make more Star Wars and then yell at Luke the whole time for being a man. So at least that's dead, and we can just write off Disney Star Wars. This is disgusting. Don't do this, and don't let them do this to you. Tell him this is bullshit. It has nothing to do with the fact of any sort of racism, internalized or otherwise. It's because stop trying to rewrite history. Stop race swapping our characters, fictional or factual. Make them as they are. All right, everyone. You guys have a good night. Like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.